What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and I've got a stimulus check update for you today as we receive word that the Economic Security Project, they released a new executive summary, and the data included shows that out of all of the provisions that have been in our previous stimulus packages, there is one that stands out above the rest to help keep people out of poverty, and that is none other than the stimulus check. This is your stimulus check update, and they're letting us know that we can keep an additional 12 million Americans out of potential poverty if we include simply two more stimulus checks, stimulus check number 4 and stimulus check number 5. And this is coming while right now Congress is in the middle of discussing what's going to be included in that Americans Families Plan, where we're expecting there could potentially be another stimulus check included. We're going to be getting more details on that next week. I let you know in the video that I previously uploaded today. But today, I'm going to be diving in to what we've heard so far on this report and articles for a 4th stimulus check, and also what's currently being proposed on the table by Democratic leaders in Congress. So I'm going to dive right in. I'm going to get you caught up on the latest on a 4th stimulus check as of today, April 23rd, 2021. But before I do, if you could do me a quick favor, it'll just take a second. If you like and appreciate these video updates, take a second to smash the like button, leave your comments, and share this video out on social media platforms. Those simple gestures just take a second, and they really help out the channel a ton. Thank you so much. And if this is your first time here and you're not already part of the viewing community, don't forget to smash the subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. I'll keep you up to date on stimulus, unemployment, Congress, the economy, anything having to do with investing or money. Also, remember to follow me on Instagram as well at SteveRam3. Consider joining the Patreon group to get exclusive access to me and these articles before they hit YouTube. And always remember, my comment responses will always have a gray stripe. And if you don't see that, it's not me, it's those pesky scammers trying to steal your information. I'm never going to leave random WhatsApp phone numbers in the comments. I'm here to give you the latest information. So with that being said, I'm just going to go ahead and dive right in and get you caught up on the latest regarding this push for a 4th stimulus check. Alright, so before we dive into the report on a 4th and 5th stimulus check, we're going to be discussing right now the new waves that are going out for the 3rd stimulus check for those of you that are still waiting. So, link in the description below to this article that just came out that says IRS sends out another batch of $1,400 stimulus checks to 2 million Americans. And it says the IRS sent out a 6th batch of stimulus checks this week, delivering payments to another 2 million Americans as part of President Biden's $1.9 trillion American Rescue Plan. So if you still haven't gotten it, just be patient. Every week, they're sending out new waves of that 3rd stimulus check. And it says the agency said Thursday that it has dispersed about 161 million payments, worth roughly $379 billion in the span of just 5 weeks. The latest round, worth $3.4 billion, went to 700,000 individuals who had recently filed their 2020 tax returns. The government has urged Americans who do not receive the federal benefits nor typically file their tax returns to submit one this year in order to provide the IRS with their payment information and receive their stimulus cash. Another 600,000 payments went to Social Security beneficiaries and Supplemental Security Insurance recipients, including those with foreign addresses. The IRS also sent Supplemental Plus-Up payments to taxpayers who were owed more money based on their 2020 tax returns. And the Plus-Up checks are just for those who missed out on those first rounds. They're sending out those surprise checks to make up for that so you can get that money right now. And it says Americans may be entitled to a bigger payment if they lost their job or saw their income reduced last year as a result of the pandemic. That also includes individuals who had a child in 2020. So those are those who are eligible for these plus-up checks. And it says if you haven't received your payment yet, you can check in on the status using the IRS Get My Payment tool. So that is the latest on the new waves of the 3rd stimulus checks. Alright, so now let's go ahead and dive into this report on a 4th and potentially a 5th stimulus check that is getting pushed for in this article right here. Link in the description below if you'd like to check it out for yourself. And it says, sending 4th and 5th stimulus checks could keep 12 million Americans out of poverty, report finds. And this is coming out while they're discussing potentially putting a check into that American Families Plan. So this is going to be adding to that push. And the article says, since the onset of the pandemic, Americans have received 3 stimulus payments from the government, and a new report finds that sending more checks would lift Americans out of poverty. It says the Economic Security Project released a report on April 14th that found that stimulus checks have played a critical role in fighting poverty, boosting small business revenue, and increasing state and local revenue. It called for the government to continue delivering stimulus checks to lift an additional 12 million Americans out of poverty, on top of the 16 million Americans from the most recent $1,400 stimulus payments, and to close the imbalance in poverty, income, and wealth between white Americans and Americans of color. Evidence from the last years shows stimulus checks to be the fastest and most impactful investments helping Americans get through this crisis, lifting more people out of poverty than any other single policy, the report said. Now, so far, Congress has sent Americans nearly $850 billion in stimulus aid, and the report said that continuing that kind of aid, along with making the child tax credit and earned income credit permanent, would ensure a fast and equitable recovery and sustainable economic growth for the country. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at this report from the Economic Security Project, and you can see right here that this was just released this month, April 2021, and it pretty much says that out of all of the provisions included in our previous stimulus package, the number one that has helped fight against poverty during the pandemic is the stimulus checks. You can see here on the second page, it says the power and impact of checks as pandemic relief, and it says $850 billion in direct cash to American households over the past year has gone out. We've done 3 rounds of stimulus checks, $1,200, $600, and $1,400. A 20% income boost for the lowest income households has taken place, more than $5,500 per household on average, $250 billion to people of color, and $480 billion to households in the bottom 60% of incomes. And it says, number one, a smart and effective investment. It says this is going to be boosting consumer spending, increasing small business revenue, and increase state and local revenue as well. The money gets out into people's hands, they use it, and it helps stimulate the economy. Number two, a powerful poverty reducer. It says that the primary reason poverty fell at the start of the recession is that data indicates that a round of $1,200 stimulus checks lasted most families 2 to 3 months. And it says the driving force behind the American Rescue Plan, which is projected to cut child poverty in half this year, due mostly to investments in direct cash payments. So they're saying that stimulus checks are the key thing that's helping fight against poverty in these stimulus packages. And here you can see on the last page of the report, it says a tool to eliminate poverty altogether. A 4th and 5th check could keep an additional 12 million people out of poverty. And you can see here they charted it out. It says before the American Rescue Plan, there was 44 million Americans in a state of poverty. After the American Rescue Plan, it dropped it down to 28 million. It says with the help of those checks, the CTC and the EITC and unemployment benefits. And it says after one more stimulus check, we can reduce that down to 21 million. And if we do a second one or a 5th stimulus check, it would drop it down to 16 million, essentially cutting 12 million people that would have been in poverty out of it. So they're saying that right now, if we can do 2 more checks, we can literally help tens of millions of Americans. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. So here we see the Economic Security Project adding to the push for another stimulus check, but not just a 4th, and a 5th. But right now, what we're hearing is a lot of Democratic leaders are saying that that is not enough. They'd like to see monthly reoccurring checks. And as you guys know, we currently have 2 proposals on the table to include more checks in this next stimulus package. Now, one is coming from the House and one is coming from the Senate. Now, the one from the Senate is saying that we need $2,000 per month until the end of this pandemic. And the one that's coming from the House is known as the ABC Act, or the Automatic Boost to Communities Act. And this one is suggesting that everybody gets a 4th stimulus check of $2,000, followed up by $1,000 per month per person until the end of the pandemic, and then also 1 year after as well, to make sure that everybody's covered throughout the course of this pandemic. Now, we're going to see if this is going to be included. We're likely going to be hearing more about the American Families Plan next week, and that is likely where we will see another stimulus check if it's included. Now, in addition to that, we're also hearing that Democratic leaders and GOP leaders, they can't seem to come to an agreement. Surprise, surprise. So it's very likely that Democrats, as long as they stay unified, they'll be able to pass through whatever they like through the process of reconciliation once again. And we've already received the okay from the Senate parliamentarians. So it's very likely we're going to be seeing this process, and we'll see if Democrats will stay unified on another stimulus check. So you guys, that is the latest on another federal level fourth stimulus check, potentially a fifth, and potentially monthly reoccurring checks. Now, if you're one of the people that's asking, okay, so who's going to be paying for all this stimulus? Well, you're not alone, and we received word yesterday that President Joe Biden, when he unveils the details next week, he's also going to be unveiling new tax hikes. And if you want to see the latest, be sure to check out this video that I uploaded this morning, letting you know what's going to be happening with taxes. Now, in addition to that, we've also received word that unemployment systems around the nation have been failing. We've been having issues with that. So if you have suddenly seen a stop for no apparent reason in your unemployment benefits, you might want to check out this video that I uploaded today as well, giving you the latest on what's happening with unemployment systems. And you guys, as more information rolls out here on the channel, I'll be sure to keep you guys up to date. And once again, if you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget to smash that like button, leave your comments down below, share this video out, follow me on Instagram at SteveRam3, consider hitting the subscribe button to stay up to date, follow me on Patreon, and you guys, I can't think of anything else. I hope that this reaches you well. Take care, God bless, I'll see you in the next video, have a great weekend, this is Steve.